We keep a teenager kidnapped in our attic. I get 400 to 500 emails a day. You're going to be one of my experts. So, you're going to get and sometimes I'll use Chat GPT or Bing. There are going to be wars fought over water.
Can you give me a list of X? And it gives you like 5, and I just type more.
I know Elon Musk is a genius in many respects. What a stupid thing to change Twitter
to X. Oh, I've been thinking
the Star Trek Happy Meal.
Oh wow, he's still got it. Oh my god!
But sometimes something that's a little bit different. I worked for a company called the product they made was Avidart, and Avidart helps BPH. It's one of the few things I can remember from my pharmaceutical days: benign prostatic hyperplasia. And I said, why don't you give out these messages in women's and gynecology doctors and doctors that are involved with women? And they said, well, no. Our client is men. I said, men will deny that they're going to the bathroom every night. Women wake up by it, and it worked because it's just getting it information in a different way. We're not very advanced in my wife and I. We go to experts all the time, and I've got a number of them. But we keep a teenager kidnapped in our attic, okay? And we bring out pizza when we need to do something really confusing, like downloading. Okay. I try to figure things out, and invariably I need help. And by the way, that's a great thing that AI can do. When you're stuck on something, frame the question properly, and you'll get a great answer that may just hit on the kernel that you were missing.
Exactly. I mean, that's my day to day. Just using ChatGPT. How are you using it for learning new stuff?
I'm really relatively a novice at it. Okay. The more information you get in, like anything else, first of all, I'm 77, you need to keep learning. You need to keep growing. I missed pretty much of the digital revolution. I mean, I was never involved in analytics and algorithms that kids these days use. So I've really missed a lot of it. And that's why I turn to experts, because an AI certainly is an expert, but I turn to real people that can help me, sometimes it's just helping me frame a question, because like anything else, I think I mentioned that, you want the email protocol of a company. You don't have to have the email address.
So just for the audience, we were just talking about using AI to predict the email format of a company, and how you got in contact with the company just through working out what the format of the email is. So, John Smith at xcompany.com or Smith John at xcompany.com. Yeah.
Right. And it really, I'm learning when I couldn't get when AI said to me, we can't give you the emails of anybody. I said, I framed it differently. And I asked for the email protocol, and it told me exactly what to do. Now, these people are so famous, they probably have a blocker on that they're not getting anything from me. I once said to my friend Dick Wolf, he's called the $400 million man. He created Law and Order. He's a brilliant guy.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I once said to him, "Why don't you answer my emails?" He was a friend of mine. He said, "Jack, I get 400 to 500 emails a day. I have an assistant and an assistant's assistant, so it just never gets to me." So eventually, I knew how to get to the other person that got most of my messages to him.
Oh wow, that is so interesting.
And by the way, Dick was very instrumental in helping me convince McDonald's. I think I was in my 20s at the time. I was some 20s, maybe late 20s, 79, yeah. And so McDonald's didn't believe me that movie merchandising was the way of the future. So I brought in Dick Wolf. Back then, he was only doing movies.
Who's Dick Wolf, by the way?
Dick Wolf created he's called the $400 million man. Okay, in America, he created the show Law and Order.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. You said that just a second ago, didn't you? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Law and Order in America is on 24 hours a day on different channels, because it's a brilliant. It's half an hour about the crime and half an hour about the judge and the court. Anyway, Dick helped me convince McDonald's that movie merchandising was going to be the wave of the future. I used to read scripts before they came out, and sometimes you make a mistake. I was in somebody's office in Colombia, and I see a script upside down, and I got home and I said to my wife, I don't think it's much of an idea. It's just initials. It was E.T. Okay.
Oh.
So a lot of times,
yeah.
A lot of times you miss. It's like I couldn't open the script because it wasn't appropriate. My boss taught me how to read upside down, and it's like, well, that I don't think McDonald's would have gotten behind it anyway because they didn't know how big McDonald's is like Procter and Gamble, Coca-Cola. They never want to be first. They want to own the market once it's out there. Procter & Gamble is huge in this. I mean, they didn't create diapers for babies, but when somebody else created it, they created Pampers. They improved on what was out there. Right. Well, and I'm sure some of them will. They keep improving. It's like I forget power. Every 3 months something improves. In electronics, and that's going to be true with artificial intelligence. I mean, I'm still amazed by television. How do they get those pixels? But I often use things that I don't understand totally, and I turn to experts to understand it better. You're going to be one of my experts, so you're going to get an email from me. How do I do this?
Yeah, sure. Send them over. I'm like I say, I use ChatGPT all the time. Yeah. Like over the last year, since November of 22, how have you been using ChatGPT? How is it changing your day to day?
Oh, I don't use it to write. I've never. I mean, a lot of people do that. People have created scripts. I use it to get information. Sometimes just a kernel of information, and sometimes I'll use ChatGPT or Bing. Bing Copilot is very good.
But the Copilot isn't that for coding though?
For what?
Are you using Copilot for coding? I thought that's what it was for. No.
I use it. I'm sure it does that. Well, first of all, artificial intelligence. It's got all the information in there, large language models. So no, I use it to search, and it's more efficient than Google. It's owned by Microsoft, and I think it's part of the Bing browser. So it's just integrated into it. And it's incredibly helpful. I mean, I've got a lot to learn.
So you're saying, and I've been writing. I write articles, but what I do is I get ChatGPT to draft it for me. Then I rewrite it in my own words, and I check, technical stuff to see if it's got it right. You're saying you're not using it for writing. So, like, how does it influence your writing?
Well, not yet. I mean, spell check is spell check. That was pretty rudimentary. I think I'll start using it more for writing, but I've pretty much found that for what I'm doing now for the planet, and by the way, people always say you're going to save the planet. The planet's going to be fine. It's the people and the species and the animals and the plants that are threatened by climate change. And it's going to be worse than we can ever imagine.
I hope you enjoyed that episode of the interview with Jack Goldenberg. You may be on the last one or the first one, I'm not sure, but watch out, there are some other episodes of this. He's a really entertaining guy. He's got so many stories to tell. There's so many funny ones in there. So if you want to, they may already be on the YouTube channel for AI mode, so go there, please. In the meantime, before you watch the next episode, I'm running 2 competitions at the moment. So my usual competition is Symphony of AI Award for Best Video. So this is probably a good time to enter because Luma has just come out and everyone's totally excited about it. LinkedIn has totally blown up the internet yesterday. All I see is Luma, 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 Luma. So if you want to enter that, please scan the code that's on the screen at the moment. There's lots of people that have already entered for May's edition of this competition. To see all those videos, you can go to this QR code that's on the screen. Look, there's a little link at the bottom as well. And if you want to enter my new competition for Symphony of AI Award for Best Image, you can scan the code that's on the screen now, or there's a little link at the bottom. Otherwise, here's the promo for the competition. Hope you enjoy. Speak to you soon. Bye.